Hello, my students. It's me, Mr. Weaver. Have you ever wondered about the communication cycle? Probably not. However, I guarantee that the communication cycle has had an impact in your life. It has had an impact in the way that you communicate with your parents, with your friends, with adults, children, pets, anything with which you communicate. It also has had a major effect on the way that you receive and send forth communication electronically. So let's look at this communication cycle. Let's try to understand it. And then when you start doing things in my class and hopefully beyond my class that has to do with communication, you may not think of these things right in the front of your mind, but they'll become ingrained in you in such a way that you understand why you are doing what you're doing, and you'll be able to understand how you are interpreting how other people communicate with you and how media communicates with you. This is a powerful lesson to start our class, and that's why I start with the communication cycle. Take the woman in this picture. Here she is encoding a message. She has a thought. She has something that she wants to communicate to the gentleman in the picture. Now, the gender here doesn't matter. What matters is that there is an encoder and that there is a receiver who decodes what the sender has sent. So the sender must encode a message. It then travels. So the message is in that arrow there. There's some message that she is trying to send to the receiver. That message has a channel. The channel is the means by which she sends the message. Now, you can have multiple channels going at the same time. For instance, right now, as you're watching me, we have the video, we have my gestures, that's part of the message, and we also have the audio, and yeah, so there are multiple things going on all the time. While you are receiving this message, you are decoding what I'm saying. You are interpreting. Okay, that's a key word here. You are interpreting, construing, understanding what I'm saying. Could you misinterpret what I say? Of course you could. You could totally misinterpret what I'm saying right now. There are also some things that are going on around you and going on around me that may potentially get in the way of you getting the message. We call that noise. The noise doesn't always have to be audible. It could be something that you see. It could be something you smell. If you're right next to a garbage can watching this, that might be a noise that's getting in the way of you understanding my message. Now, you as the receiver of this message, you are going to then give some feedback. That is the way that you communicate back to me based on what I'm saying. Now, I can't see your feedback right now, but I'm going to see some feedback in the Google form that you fill out for this particular assignment if you're watching it for that purpose. The feedback is oftentimes, in fact, it's usually not verbal. It is not communicated. Feedback is oftentimes in the way that you respond with your body, the way you respond with your facial expressions, micro expressions. Sometimes it could be turning of the head. It could be your eyes going up to try to listen. It could be you frowning. It could be you smiling. I love to see my students smiling when I'm communicating because that feedback tells me, aha, either one, you're getting it, or two, you're trying to flatter me and pretend you're getting it. But either way, at least you're being nice, right? So there's always some feedback going on. And then I'm taking that feedback. As I'm receiving your feedback, I'm then encoding more of my message, and I'm giving you more message. And I'm also giving you feedback based on your feedback. And so it's a cycle. So there's always, there's a message being created and given, okay, in a message through a channel. There's also information being received or interpreted, decoded, we call that. And then you are giving me feedback in return. You can see there are examples on that particular diagram of lots of different channels. There are more channels than that. Those are just some that I gave to you. Hopefully this will be helpful in you starting to understand how communication works, because you're going to be communicating. You're also going to be listening to other people communicate and responding or giving feedback. Now, what's really cool is when you start taking messages given to you from media, from social media, from the news, from your friends, anyone, and you start interpreting their message, their channel, and understanding why they're doing that. And you start to think, okay, thinking is very important. Thinking about messages given to you and what is the motivation behind that message. And so that's a real fun part of this. When we get into persuasion, we'll start thinking about the motivation behind it, and what is the will behind it, and what is the intention behind a message given. So that'll be fun too. I need to stop now, but this is the communication cycle. We're going to take this and use it throughout the semester, and really you should use this throughout your life, trying to understand what is the message being given, who is giving it, how are they encoding it, how am I interpreting it, and how do I give feedback, and what channel am I getting that message through. Have a great day.